Hi everyone. Thanks for being patient with us. As y'all know, we've had a big change of plans with how we are needing to do group. Oh goodness, that too at the hospital. I'll have lots to update you all on. But just the way that we're having class. But I do not want to miss out on you all seeing opportunities as much as I can. So one thing that I wanted to do was still demonstrate how to do a CELS, Coleman Evaluation of Living Skills, and being able to show you the pill box. I'm hoping that we'll be able to do it the best we can given the circumstances. And if you all have questions, please email me, and I will also have an assignment to kind of follow up, so therefore we can give you as much interaction and as much ability to look at this on your own too, because I want you to be able to learn what this looks like and how to use it. This is Thomas. Thomas
Hello.
is my partner, boyfriend, if you will. If you see a dog or a cat, we might have a cat jump up because he loves to jump up on the table. Don't mind him. But other than that, guys, I'm going to stick strictly to the script. I'm going to show you exactly how we do a living skills assessment at Western State Hospital. Normally, at the very beginning, I'll do sort of an interview, just so therefore I can get a better feel for who my client is, where they live, and just some supplemental information before I jump in. So again, if you see me looking down, do not be alarmed. It's because I'm taking notes just as I would as if I were doing this assessment on a client at Western. All right. Thomas, how are you today?
Doing all right.
Thomas, my name is Kayla. I'm an occupational therapist here, and I was asked by your treatment team to do an assessment of living skills. Did they talk with you about that a little bit?
Barely.
Barely. So this is a good step. A lot of times when treatment teams are asking about this, it's a nice thing because it can go towards discharge planning. So therefore we're able to kind of see where your strengths are and then what you may need help with. All right.
So doing this can help me get back out sooner.
Doing this can get you back out sooner, or at least that's the hope. It gives your team a little bit more information about what you may need help with and what you're good at. So I do have a couple of questions before we get started. Is that all right?
Sure.
All right. So Thomas, just remind me, where do you live at?
Waynesboro.
You live in Waynesboro. Do you live with anyone?
Just my girlfriend and our animals.
Okay. And what kind of animals do you have?
Dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats. Very good. All right. Very, very good. Do you have a driver's license?
Mm-hmm.
And it's still good. It's not expired or anything.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. DMVs have closed, and Thomas's license is going to expire. Side note.
At the end of this month.
At the end of the month. All right. So, but your license is still good. Do you have a car for transportation?
I do.
All right. And do you plan on driving when you get discharged?
Would love to.
Okay. So plans to drive. Very good. All right, very, very good. In the assessment, I'm going to ask you a little bit about banking. I know that these questions seems really intrusive, but I'm not trying to be nosy or pry. It's just going to give me more information, so therefore I can tell your team. What bank do you bank with?
Credit union.
You use a credit union. Very nice. Do you normally use debit cards? Do you use checks? Do you use cash? What's your normal bill flow? Or how do you pay bills or even spend money?
Through my checking account.
You do it through your checking account. And do you normally use a debit card? Do you use checks?
Debit card.
Okay.
And then just automatic bill pay.
All right. Very nice. All right. So we'll be able to look at that in the assessment. All right. Another question that I have for you. What medications are you currently on?
I'm on just a couple different ones.
Do you happen to know what they are?
Not off the top of my head.
Do you know what they're for?
One is for taking something for anxiety.
Okay.
Taking another medication for blood pressure.
Okay. Alright, so taking one for blood pressure and one to help with
Yeah.
anxiety. Alright, but don't know what they are.
No.
Okay. Alright, that's alright. So I might ask a couple more things as part of the assessment. We're going to do something called the pillbox test, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Thomas, I think everything else I'll be able to cover within the assessment. I might ask clarifying questions outside of the assessment if I feel it's pertinent, but I try to stick to the assessment as best I can. Do you have any questions for me right now?
No.
All right, very good. May we get started?
Yep.
All right, sounds good. So again, if you see me taking notes, please do not be alarmed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Thomas, I'll be giving you an evaluation of living skills. The reason I'm giving you this evaluation is to help determine your specific strengths. It will take approximately 30 to 45 minutes. I may be taking notes as the evaluation progresses. If you have any questions, feel free to stop me at any time. At the end of the evaluation, I will go over the results with you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to begin?
Yeah.
First, do this. I'll let you out a pen. Alright, so I just want to go over this just quickly with you to make sure that I'm reading everything correctly. So, you know that it's March. Do you happen to remember the date?
I don't.
That's okay.
No, it's March and it's 2020.
Alright, it's March 22nd today. Around 11 a.m., it's about 11:20, but very good. Thomas Rowe, living at 413 North Poplar Avenue, Waynesboro, Virginia, 22980, and you have an age of 34.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so just want to make sure that I'm reading this correctly. You say you shower and bathe every other day,
Mm-hmm.
that you wash your face once a day and you wash your hair every other day, comb your hair every day. And then to my understanding, you only brush your teeth when you feel like it, correct?
One I think I need to.
Okay, alright, thank you so much. So we're going to get to the next part. I'm going to show you 4 pictures.
Mm-hmm.
There may be a dangerous situation in them, or there may not be anything dangerous at all. Look carefully at each of them. In each picture, you must decide if there's anything dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is the first picture.
She's got too much stuff plugged in.
And what could happen?
It could cause a fire or short the breaker.
Very nice. This is the second picture.
She's got open medicine.
And what is dangerous?
Looks like her kids playing around the open medicine.
Okay. Oh, my apologies.
Don't really see a problem in this one.
Don't see a problem with this one? Alright. And then last one.
Don't really see a problem in this one either.
Alright. Alright. What would you do for yourself if you got sick with a cold?
If I got sick with a cold,
Mm-hmm.
probably just take some cough drops,
Okay.
blow my nose.
Okay. What would you do if you burned yourself and the wound became infected?
Probably call my doctor.
Call a doctor. What would you do if you suddenly started having severe chest pains and shortness of breath?
I would just try to relax,
Okay.
maybe drink some water to calm down.
Okay. And then if your house caught on fire, what telephone number would you call for help?
911.
Thomas, if you needed to see a doctor, where would you go?
I would just go to my primary care doctor.
Do you happen to know who that is?
I just know he's at UVA.
Okay. All right, at UVA. And then if you needed dental care, where would you go?
I haven't ever really needed it.
Okay. So no dentist. Okay. That's all right. So now we're going to move on. This is usually everyone's favorite part. So now we're going to look at some money management kind of things. So before I get started, I should have asked this at the beginning. You told me that you use a credit union and that you have a checking account there, and that you normally use a debit card and you usually do automatic bill pay. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, I just wanted to confirm. I guess I did ask all the questions. That's good. All right. All right, Thomas. I'm going to give you $5,
Okay.
and you're going to buy this toothbrush from me. Excuse me. The toothbrush costs $4.58, including tax. You give me the $5.
Okay.
I'll hand you the toothbrush and this amount of change. Is this the right amount of change?
Yeah.
Thank you. Now I'm going to ask you to purchase this deck of cards from me.
Okay.
The deck of cards costs $3.38, including tax. We put the labels on the pieces. This is the money you have to purchase the deck of cards. Do you have enough money?
I think so.
Do you have any extra? Is it the right amount?
I think you gave me the right amount.
All right. So next we're going to look at paying a bill. How do you pay your bills?
Normally I just have it come out of my checking account.
Right. What is the amount due on this bill?
I'm gonna say it's $124.31.
Okay. And then when is the bill due?
$415.20.
Of when? All right. Very good. Alright. And you said you did automatic bill pay, correct?
Yeah.
So that means you also pay your bills online.
I set them up that way.
You set them up that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test your knowledge on that. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. during this portion, as you know that this is giving you prompts, depending on their answers. So we do have a card system where we can test his ability to pay online or at least show us, some automatic bill pay kind of thing. So I'm going to have him actually pay online. All right, Thomas. So what I'd like for you to do is that I have information here.
Yep.
To pay your utility bill.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to hand you this mouse, and I want you to choose from the options on the screen.
To pay it?
Mm-hmm.
I normally just do it through my bank.
Okay. So, can you tell me the company that your utility bill is from?
Rock.
Yes. So let's go ahead and we'll click on Rock.
Okay. Not my bank.
Not your bank. We'll do Rock today. Alright. And from here, so you normally pay this through your bank. So you don't necessarily have experience. So what we're going to do is
what I did is I actually called them and they set it up for me.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. So, well, let's go ahead and have a practice.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is that we're going to log into your account, and I have your information right here.
Okay. So I log in here.
Yep. Very good.
Does it have to be capitals?
It does.
Okay. Same with the password?
Yes. Excuse me.
Okay.
Alright, so we want to pay your bill. Alright, so, and we talked about when the payment was due.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
So March is 3.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Okay.
And then, so from here, this is where you can actually select how you want to pay from Nickel
Yeah,
Bank.
so normally I just pay out of my
Alright,
bank.
so let's go. We'll choose that option.
Okay.
Alright, and then hit.
Is it fine just leaving that here?
Yes, I
I
was
don't have to put it in
well, check your balance. Is it matching the same of what you owe?
Yes.
Alright, so then that should be fine. Alright, and is that is that the credit?
Yep, that's the bank I use.
Alright, so go ahead and
Hit submit.
Yep. Very nice, very
Okay.
nice. So even though you don't do this often, you were still able to navigate that with just a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just not used to doing it at all.
That's understandable. That's understandable. Alright, so now that we've done our bill pay, I have just a couple of additional questions.
Okay.
What is your source of income?
I work at a hotel.
Okay. Work at a hotel. And then, do you have any other sources of income?
No, not really. Just the hotel.
Just the hotel. And where do you get your money from?
They do direct deposit.
Alright, so direct deposit at hotel. Do you plan on returning work there?
Returning to work there? Yes, I would like to.
Yes, return to work. Alright. And if you did not receive your money one month, what would you do to find out where it is?
I would go to our payroll.
Okay, very good.
She's the one that helped me set up the direct deposit.
Very good. Very good. Do you rent or own your own home?
I rent.
You rent. Alright. It's one of the questions I have to
Mhm.
ask. Alright. My next question, even though we already discussed it, but how do you get from one place to another?
Drive.
You do drive, and we had already talked about that.
Yeah.
Do you have any other means of transportation?
I mean, I could walk if I had to,
Okay.
but normally I drive or I could ask for a ride.
And who would you ask for a ride from?
I would ask a ride from just a coworker that lives near me.
Okay. Alright. Is public transportation such as buses, subways, or light rail available where you live?
We do have a bus system in town,
Okay.
but it would not be able to get me to my job.
Okay. Alright.
I work in Charlottesville.
Oh, okay. Then that makes sense. So then the next question is not applicable. Thank you. Alright. So my next question for you involves the use of the telephone. Do you have a telephone?
Yes.
Is it a cell phone?
Yes.
If you needed to call information, what would you do?
What information?
Like if you needed to call, back in the day they called it calling an operator.
I don't know how to do that.
Alright, how would you look up a telephone number if you didn't know what it was?
Normally I would Google it.
Okay. Alright. Just want to test your skills. Thomas, would you dial this number and place it on speakerphone?
Okay.
Thank you for calling Zeus Digital Theaters. As of Tuesday, March the 17th, 2020, Zeus Theaters will be closed due to the coronavirus.
Alright,
We
so we'll go ahead
apologize
and we'll
for
stop.
any inconvenience.
But you're comfortable being able to dial numbers?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Alright, so this is going to be a couple more work-related questions. You said that you currently work and you plan on returning there, correct?
Yes.
And you work in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, if you were looking to work somewhere else in the future, how will you find a job?
I mean, I got this job through recommendation from a friend. It's kind of how I've gotten my jobs normally. I know someone that works somewhere and they tell me that they're hiring.
Okay. Alright. What kind of job would you look for in the future if you needed to?
Just one that I can live comfortably from. I'm not too picky.
And what kind of work would that be?
Probably just support for whatever people needed. I didn't really enjoy food service, so probably wouldn't want to work food service.
Okay.
But kind of just whatever they need me to do.
Okay. Alright. We're almost finished, at least with
Okay.
this portion. Alright. What do you do in your leisure or free time?
Listen to music, walk the dogs, watch like Netflix and YouTube.
Okay. When was the last time you did these activities?
Before coming here.
Okay. So before admission. And that was when?
I mean, I just got admitted yesterday, so
Okay.
a couple days ago.
Okay. Alright. And then, do you do any activities with people? Because these.
Not really.
Okay. So you more so like to stay kind of to yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I like just hanging out with the animals.
Alright. Alright, so we've done this part of the assessment, so we're going to go to the pill box.
Okay.
Is that okay for medications?
Yep.
Now, I had asked you a couple of questions beforehand,
Mhm.
but one thing that I didn't ask is, do you manage your own medications?
I mean, the doctor gives me the prescription, and
Right.
yeah, I go to pharmacy and get it.
Okay, very good. But you're able, when you get home, you're able to take it on your own, able to read the labels okay?
I think so.
Alright, very good. So this next part is the pillbox test.
Okay.
So Thomas, with the pillbox test, I just want you to simply organize yourself for an entire week worth of medication.
Okay.
Now, I know you communicated to me before, and you only take a couple.
Mhm.
But we try to look at, if you were to had to take up to 5, what would that look like for you?
Okay.
So therefore, your instructions are to read each label. I'm going to be as hands off as I'm able to. You can ask me questions if needed, but I want you to be able to do this as independently as possible.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you read the labels. The test hasn't started yet. I want you to read the labels and follow the instructions and organize yourself using this pill box. You have 5 minutes to complete this task. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right.
And then do the whole week.
And then I'm gonna pause for a second, just so therefore you all are familiar. We use what's in the article using a pill box that allows for morning, lunch, dinner, and bedtime. Very good. Very good. There's all. Yep, very good. So far he's filled 2 correctly. Good, every other day. Very nice. And which one was this one?
This is take at bedtime.
Very good. Alright. And what's this one?
Take it twice a day at breakfast and dinner. So.
Very good. Is that it?
That should be all of them.
And did you do all 5?
Yes.
Very good. Alright, and you have 1:30 to spare. Very good. Did you have any issues doing that?
No.
And then it looks like you were able to comprehend the labels
Mm-hmm.
pretty well.
Yeah.
Alright, very good, Thomas. You did this with 100% accuracy. Very good.
Okay.
Alright. So Thomas, this concludes what we're looking for. Normally I would have us cook, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, just because of the circumstances,
Yeah.
we're not able to do that. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about kitchen safety. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of go rogue, if you will.
Okay.
So Thomas, how do you prepare your meals? Do you normally prepare them on your own? Do you normally have someone help you? Kind of walk me through that a little bit.
Normally I'll do it on my own, or I'll go get food.
All right, so you'll you'll do takeout or drive through, and then when you're at home, what kinds of meals will you prepare yourself at home?
I mean, normally it's just like TV dinners or
Okay.
stuff I can microwave.
All right, microwavable. That's nothing wrong with that. All right. A couple of questions concerning microwave, like just looking at microwave safety. If you notice that something was extremely hot, how would you take it out of the microwave?
I would grab a towel.
Grab a towel and then do what with it?
Just use the towel to be able to grab the bowl or plate.
All right. And then what's the purpose of doing that?
So don't burn my hand.
Very good. Very, very good. And then how do you know if something is cooked properly in the microwave?
Normally it tells you how long you need to cook it for
And then where do you read that at?
on the actual box
Very good.
or the can.
So you want to read the label. Like something at home, because you said that you lived with her. How would you know if something that she's made is cooked thoroughly? Like, so say you didn't have a label to read. How would you know if something is warmed through enough?
If she's reheating it,
If you're reheating, yeah.
I normally cook it for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll just taste it,
Okay.
see if it's hot enough.
Alright. Very good. Alright, so Thomas, that will actually conclude our living skills. Do you mind if we go over really quickly just some things I am a little concerned about, and I just
Okay.
want you to be aware. Alright, so first and foremost, you've done a nice job in a lot of different areas. I haven't finished scoring it just yet because I need to check with mine your ability to it looks like you do keep yourself clean. You said you shower every other day, and your shower today. You look very nice. Your clothes are clean. You do a nice job with that. One area I was concerned with, and I wanted to see if you see them now, is looking at the safety pictures. Did you notice that there was a cord coming across the carpet?
I mean, I did, but I didn't see a problem with it.
That's okay. So normally when we see things like this, I can understand where you think that, because a lot of people have cords, if the TV's not long enough, but especially because it seemed like it was in the middle of the living room. What do you think could happen if something's in the middle of the room?
I guess somebody probably could trip on it.
Yeah, so just something to be mindful of with that. And then the other safety picture, you said you didn't see anything wrong with it, but I wanted you to take a closer look. What else if there was something wrong, what do you see?
I don't see anything wrong.
That's okay. This one's a little bit harder. It's probably our hardest picture. So with this person, she is boiling or trying to boil a pot of water over the stove, and the eye's on, and you can see her sleeve is right at where the pot is.
Wow.
And so what could happen from here?
I guess it could maybe catch on fire.
Yeah, I was going to say, so just being mindful of that. A lot of robes, or a lot of times when you're cooking, you don't think about your sleeves.
Yeah.
And so just being mindful of that. But yes, it could catch on fire. Oh, thank you. What an OT you are. Another area that I was concerned with is that I looked at your chart information. You did tell me you were 34, but your chart says you're just 29. You're going to turn 30 this week. Does that sound right?
I must have gotten confused with my brother.
That's okay. That's okay. Do you have a brother who's 34?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. All right. And then another thing, I did double check your address, and I noticed that you have your city is correct, but you actually live on South Poplar. Did you
Oh.
mean to put north?
No, I didn't mean to put it on.
All right, that's okay. So I just wanted to bring your awareness to that a little bit. Another thing is when we were looking at the cash when we were purchasing this, you had told me that I'd given you correct change.
Yeah.
Actually, I shorted you a little bit of change.
Oh, I thought you gave me the right amount.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's all right. Is it hard for you sometimes when you have a lot of loose change or loose bills, do you ever notice that it's hard for you to manage it a little bit?
That's one of the reasons I don't use cash.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. A lot of people don't anymore. With that, and then with the other scenario, you were 4 cents over.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. And let's see here, just a couple other things. Even though you said you didn't really know how to do the online bill pay, you actually did that pretty well with just some prompting from me. So you did all right with that. And I'll let the team know that with some education, you were able to do that. You're able to use the telephone well. And you said that's not applicable for you. And this one you're able to do on your own. Another thing that I am concerned with, or just something I want you to be mindful of, is that even though you have some really great some leisure activities that you do, things that kind of keep you entertained when you're at home, just being mindful of having something to do with others in your community.
Okay.
If you ever do you ever go to the gym, or maybe if you go to the library, do you ever do any of those kinds of activities too?
I'll go to the library with my girlfriend to
Okay.
get some books.
Okay, so just something that I noticed on the assessment, and then you made the comment that you don't hang out with a lot of friends. You do a lot of things at home.
Yeah.
I shouldn't necessarily assume you don't hang out with friends, but you said you hang out a lot at home. So I just wanted to make sure that I just bring that to your attention. Okay. All right. Other than that, I will let your team know, and then they'll get back to you with their recommendations. Okay.
Sounds good. You guys, hopefully that wasn't too bad. I have a little bit of a cold, so sorry for the sniffling, and we want to apologize too for the pups and the cats making noises. You can hear them shaking their collars and dog tags and
Yeah,
stuff.
right now Linus is in the kitchen making noise. I don't know if you all hear that. Linus is my cat. But also, thanks for your patience. I know that this isn't the best way. Please know that me and Thomas did discuss a little bit about his answers, just so for when I type up the results for him, I can kind of let you all see how I scored him. Please know that we are not making light of any situation. I know talking about medications and things like that can be sensitive. Please know that we are not making light of anything. I just kind of want to give a realistic feel. And so for a lot of our patients, guys, they'll be able to say, yeah, sure, I take medications, or sure, I do this or that. But they're not able to verbalize sometimes what those are, and medications are actually a huge one. They'll be able to say, yes, I take 3 different medications, and they'll say, I take 1 in the morning and 2 at night, or whatever their regimen is, but then they won't be able to tell me what it is or what the purpose is. So that's actually a very common thing. So please know that none of these are to reflect making fun or making light of anything. I just want to make it as realistic as possible in a somewhat unrealistic way. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will have a follow-up assignment for you all, and we will keep marching forward as best we can. Y'all stay safe and take care.
Yep.
Bye.